Hi, everyone. This is Tom Grisak with the Grisak Group. We're a team of agents, all realtors here in Allen, Texas. We're under the Keller Williams umbrella. And I thought it'd be fun for you guys to understand how we work as far as staging. And if you don't know what staging is, Rhonda, why don't you explain what? Well, first, let me introduce everybody. This is
Okay.
Rhonda Grisak, my wife.
Hi, everyone.
Vanessa Timmons,
Hello.
and Vanessa is also a realtor.
Yes.
And then Kristen Elliott.
Hello.
So they are just fantastic stagers, but you may not know what a stager is. So, Rhonda, why don't you explain what you all do and how you got this whole thing started?
Well, last year we decided to start a staging team on the Grisak team. And I just felt like we could do a better service for our clients. Before we would have a group that would come in and they would tell our clients, what they might need to do to get their home ready, but that was about it. And I just wanted to take it a level up. So now we have a storage unit full of staging items. We do a pre-appointment and we go in and we let our sellers know, hey, why don't you do this, this, this? If you can, put this away, maybe take a piece of furniture out, whatever is needed. And I always just, whatever they can do. They
Right,
may not be able to do everything, but I give them my wish list and they
right.
work from that.
And we don't do things like moving heavy furniture in or out. That's a whole different process. But most homes don't need that. In fact, 90% of the homes, if there's anything they need to do, it's provide more room and clear and open up spaces. So there are big spaces. But our staging team goes in with light. It's called light staging, but it makes a tremendous difference. I've seen pictures before and after, and you wouldn't think it. And if you live in a home for a long time, you don't see the things that someone walking in for the first time sees. So we're looking at it through a potential buyer's eyes, and that's very important. And
Well,
then
I always say that really, nowadays your buyer is coming off the internet first.
right.
So first impressions are everything. You've got to grab them. And even myself, and you guys too, I'm sure, when you're scrolling along, looking at homes or trying to find homes for your clients, um, there are many that you'll scroll right by only because your first impression of that home inside is, no, no, too much updating. There's too much stuff, clutter. You're not even looking at the home. It just doesn't feel right. And
Right.
that is our job to come in and get it picture perfect, to grab people's attention on the internet. I say first impressions are everything.
Mhm.
Even your curb appeal, put in that black mulch, put some flowers in the front. Replace your front doormat. If you're able, I love a wreath on the door. It makes it feel really homey
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
inviting.
There's a difference between a home and a house, and you're
Hmm.
trying to make houses look like homes. Some of them are like that. We really can walk in and we don't have to do much at all.
Mm-mm.
But
Some
most
are
homes,
very light,
yeah.
and then others, as Kristen started with me first, and p- poor thing, her first job was a monster home, I
Yeah.
would say. And some homes we have to put a lot more in, and then
Hmm.
some homes, like you say, I walk in, there's very little
Hmm.
needed. But we do what it takes, and
Yeah.
that's what I love about our team. Our staging team is we work very hard,
You do.
and we don't go in and out. I mean, we've been in homes 4 hours is about our limit, and if we have to go back the next day, we do it. I don't want that to scare anyone. Most of them, now that there's three of us, and we've brought on Vanessa, which is awesome too, are about 2 to 3 hours, I would
Mhm.
say now. But we do
Hmm.
whatever it takes. And if I feel like we're not happy with the elements we've brought for your home, we will go get those elements to put in your home.
In fact, we have, I feel like our Amazon delivering man, we know him on a first name basis because
Right.
we're getting things every single
I
day. We're
think you've
adding.
stopped asking now. It's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
like that's what staging say.
Yeah.
Yes, we had a really busy time this year. A few months ago, we were slammed. I would say we were working every day, and we just couldn't believe how many times we'd have to go up to the store,
Well, we were
right?
we
And
were running through our inventory so
Hmm.
quickly.
it's
And we would bring things
amazing.
in And we would think, oh, we have plenty, and before we knew it, we used up
Right.
everything
Yeah.
that we brought
Vanessa
into
and
the
I,
house.
we had to go to one of the stores. You were out of town then, and we loaded up so much. We thought, I always think this, we're set for the end of the year.
Yeah.
And we find out we're really not. We went through it in one or two listings, but we do what it takes.
And Kristen, I haven't done an interview with you yet. I just finished up an interview with Vanessa, so we would get to know her better. But my impression is you've kind of followed the route of a lot of women who, when they have kids, how many kids do you have? Two?
Two.
And as you have your kids, your early years are spent with them. Then as they get older, it gives you more time. Although I know you're very, very busy, and I will talk about that on the interview. But you want to do something a little bit more. So you were a natural. What did you think when Rhonda first asked you to be help with staging?
Well, as Rhonda said, the first home was a little eye-opening.
I think I scared her
Yeah.
to death with that
But
first home.
Rhonda has been great. Like, she's such a great teacher, and she knows what she's doing. So I feel like I'm kind of learning from the best. I just, went in with open mind and kind of really just flipping that lens
Mhm.
of, hey, what do we need to do to minimize it, declutter, and
Right.
just,
That's pretty much it, isn't it? Really,
Right,
as far
it
as
really is.
staging is minimizing, decluttering, and depersonalizing.
Right.
So someone's looking at their home as their home and not your home.
Right. So just coming in and having kind of those fresh eyes to look at it,
Yeah.
not in the real estate world.
Right.
Me coming in. I don't know, and I feel like I embraced it, and I feel like I'm still learning a lot. But
You've been fantastic.
Oh,
Rhonda
thank
tells
you.
me all the time. And let me tell you, when
Yep.
she does is Christmas time and Halloween especially over at the Elliott household,
Yes.
it is unbelievable. That's something I know you.
Yeah, and I don't know if people know this, that Kristen's husband, Sean, is our team leader.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a natural. Kristen was a teacher and decided to stay home a little bit more with the kids, but wanted something more. And this works so well into your
Oh, it's
schedule.
great. Yeah.
And she is a natural. That first home, I think, really scared her. But later you said, I'm so glad I started with the hardest home,
Yeah.
basically, because it taught you so much.
Right.
We
Trial
had
by
everything
fire.
in,
You just
in
get
that
thrown
home.
in and-
Right.
Just have to deal, like, the hardest, I feel like you learn the most,
Mhm.
right?
You
Because,
do.
yeah, I don't think we've encountered anything like that since where it's
No,
been.
we haven't. It was just such a huge home,
How
and
big?
there
How
was
many
just
square
a
feet
lot
was it?
to
Do you
do, a
remember?
lot of furniture
Um,
to move out, and
5,000 or 6,000 square feet.
oh
you think?
gosh, it was 6 to 10,000
Yeah.
square
Really?
feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
And by the way, we do stage all of our homes. That's one of the services we provide. We don't charge you for that. And we've got enough people now that can do it that we're carrying 20 to 25 listings at a time. And sometimes we may get 3 or 4 listings in a week. So our team has to move very quickly. But I've seen you guys go over there. And I couldn't believe it. You're over there for 3 or 4 hours one day. And then you say, I've got to go back tomorrow. We've got another, something else to do or add some more items. So it really is a very thoughtful process. It's not, every home is different. And I've seen the results of it. You don't see the befores, I do, but it really is amazing what they've done, little touches. Okay, Vanessa, tell me, like, what little light staging, what is that considered? Tell me, like, what would you do in a home to light stage it?
To me, light staging, it leads to someone being able to walk in and envision themselves living in that house. So we go in, we ask to remove certain things, declutter, depersonalize, like you said,
Right.
and then just add little
Like
pops
what?
of
What would you be
elements.
adding? What types of things?
Well, we'll add greenery. We'll add paintings, anything to bring more color to the house if it's missing it. So stuff like that, just
Right.
to liven
Mirrors?
mirrors, yes.
and then,
And we'll swap out lamps, anything
Oh,
to
really?
brighten
Okay.
up rooms and
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have a few lamps. I think you're thinking mirrors because right now we have one.
Right,
that-
we got a huge one. I don't know what that home's at for.
yeah, we have another one on the front porch. So we have
Oh,
two
really?
huge
Okay.
mirrors. But this is a special home that just
Okay.
yeah
And
needed
we have
that,
had
but-
some items that we put in that the sellers liked them so much they wanted to keep them.
Oh, well, so
Oh.
that one is, I think it was our
One of
son
Jason's.
Jason's
Mhm.
first listing. And he definitely, they needed something in there, but I could tell his style was a little Western. So I went up and I found a big longhorn picture that I put in the living room. He loved it. The seller loved it.
Mhm.
And so then he named it. He named it Bully, I believe. Was it Bully? And I thought, oh gosh, Bully's never leaving this home. Like he was
Mhm.
so attached to this
Aw.
picture.
He was worried about that more than
He
anything, I
was.
think.
So when
Aw.
they sold the home, it was so cute. He said, you can come get your staging items. And he had put it all out for me. But Bully
Oh,
wasn't
he didn't
there.
put, he
Bully
didn't
was
put
not a
Bully
part of
there?
it.
That's funny.
So
Oh.
Bully was actually still on the wall. And he said, you know, Bully's not going anywhere. And I said, no, he's going to Tennessee with you. And he wrote me after
Aw.
that, and he showed me a picture of Bully on his wall in
It's funny.
Tennessee where they relocated. So
Yeah.
I thought
That
that
was
was really
sweet.
cute.
Yes.
But I do want to say, if I
Sure.
may, is that when Kristen had to leave town for a couple weeks, and I knew I could not do this on my own, that was our really busy season. And so Vanessa was gracious enough to step in, and she's such a natural.
Yeah.
It was such a gift to have her. And then Kristen came back, and then you said, I really love doing this.
Yes.
So we have found actually that having the three of us has
Been
been
great.
Yeah.
such a gift.
Because-
and it's a gift to our sellers because we can get in and out faster.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know sellers. No one wants people in their home for hours. None of us do, right?
Yeah.
But we want to do our best job. So for three of us, we can get that done, a
Hey,
lot quicker.
Will they follow you around the sellers and look at everything that you're doing, or do they basically just leave and then come back and?
Some sellers do, and that's okay. But I let them know that, hey, if you want to go have lunch or go to your office and work, it's fine,
Right.
and you can come back at the end. And actually, that works better for us as stagers.
Mhm.
We can get your home finished and completed a lot quicker
Mhm.
if we're not talking all the time. But
Right.
certainly, when we first get there and they want to show us their home and the areas and everything. Yes, I mean that's wonderful.
Right.
And then we just get to work. We've
Yeah.
got it down
We
now.
do. We have a
so-
routine, a way of two of us are attacking one big room,
Right.
and the third person will be doing smaller rooms, and
Yeah.
then we can check on each other and get different opinions. So it's been
And
great.
When they-
I do want to say as well, and this may not be something that you think about asking, but we truly care about our clients. We get personally involved. We know their story, and so we don't go in as this is just another staging job. We really embrace their journey and their needs, and everyone feels they have to be embarrassed. Oh, you're coming in, or I have cats, or I have dogs, or I
Right.
haven't picked this up yet,
Yeah.
or whatever. Hey,
Right.
we all live in our
Yeah.
homes. We have 3 dogs. We have 2 cats. So we've seen it all. None of that matters to us. We know what we're looking for. And I really want to embrace these people as a person.
Mhm.
We really get into that. We truly want
Yeah.
to do our best job for them. And again, that gets back to if we don't have what's needed, we're going to get what's
Mhm.
needed.
Yeah. Every
We want it
home's,
just
every home's
right.
different. We're not just rehashing
They're not
everything
just
in
a
every
number.
home.
Yes,
Yeah.
and we
So-
don't want to make this a stressful experience for them. We want to make it as easy and as smooth as possible for them.
Yeah. Well, staging is the one thing that I've done every job you can imagine in residential real estate. Staging is the one thing that I've never done. So it's kind of a mystery to me, but I don't have that eye. I'm a big picture guy. I can say if something's too, enclosed, I said, let's open this up. Furniture's too big. Maybe you take out a piece, something like that. But other than that, it's way beyond me. But one of the biggest mistakes I made when I was younger, when I wasn't staging, but I had a consultation with someone about getting a listing on their home. And I said, you've got a beautiful home, but there's a lot of clutter in here. And if you can remove some of these items, I went through and kind of told them some things that I thought might help a lot.
She was very offended by that.
Well, let me finish the
Yeah.
story. She said, I called later and I said, well, have you guys made a decision? She said, well, we're not going to go with you because you said our house was dirty. And I said, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
no.
I said, what? He said, our house was dirty. And I said, the only thing I can remember saying is there was a lot of clutter in the home. Well, she equated clutter with dirtiness. So, of course, I didn't get that listing, but it never sold anyway. So, but you've got to be, how do you handle it with people when you
Oh,
are making suggestions and they may not be?
very honest. I think I'm really good with the
You
people,
are.
Yes, you
and
are.
the agents just kind of leave it to me. And but I'm not. I mean, I'm going to tell you like it is. You know, if we walk in and the home really smells of cat or dog, like we can't ignore that issue. But we have so much kindness there.
Right.
Like it's not something we haven't come across
Right.
before. So if I walk in, I'm like, where's the kitty box? Let's make sure it's not by the front door.
Yeah.
Let's put it in a different area. And what can we do? And to because they want to sell.
Yeah.
And so they actually really appreciate it because in fact, the last lady we came across with that said, I really appreciate all this good feedback and what you're telling me because my last agent didn't tell me any of this. I kept begging for
Mhm.
feedback. Tell me the truth. What are
They
people
want to
saying?
know. They
And
do.
that's not going to help you if I don't tell you what we're seeing in
Right.
your home. You want to sell, you want to get on with your life.
Right.
So I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to tell you the truth.
Right.
But certainly with all kindness and let's solve
You're
the
very
problem
sweet about it,
together.
yes.
Kristen,
Thank
how
you.
much
You guys are
advance
too.
notice you usually get when we have a staging project?
Oh, well, I think it depends. Like the week that we were so busy, it was like back to back to back. Sometimes Rhonda and I will go into multiple properties
Mhm.
in a day, but usually it's about a week before
Okay.
or a few days before.
Okay.
So I'm able to, have that flexibility.
Right. I just remember, I don't know, several weeks ago, a month ago, it was just like one after the other. And it was just, Rhonda was gone all the time. I never saw her.
It was so busy.
But I guess coming back, it's how often do you have to come back after a staging project? Like you haven't been able to finish it up one day, you have to go back the next day.
I feel like that's rare. It's
Is it?
only
Okay.
In 2 days we can get it done, but
Yeah.
typically now with the
We're
three of
done.
us,
The three of
we
us.
knock
Same
it
day.
out
Okay.
the same day. So that's been
Good.
such a gift having the three of us.
Yeah. And Vanessa, you do such a great job. I remember, the first
Just a
couple of times,
natural.
Rhonda just said, gosh, she's a natural. She's loving
Thank
it.
you.
So I don't want to lose you as a realtor because that's your main focus, but it's so nice to have you helping Rhonda too in staging. You're great.
And they're so kind to me. I mean, they
Yeah.
they help me a lot. Like
Well-
they pretty much do the heavy lifting,
Right.
and I get to do the fun part, pretty much,
But it's funny because the three of us are so alike when it comes to staging that we'll say, okay, I was thinking about putting this here. And
Yeah,
one of us will
Rhonda had
say,
said
so
that.
was I. So
Mhm.
it's just,
We think the same,
Yeah.
and we have the routine now, packing up and unpacking. And these two girls are so organized, so that is such a gift for me.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And we're going
Well-
to tackle our staging unit next because
yes.
after this really busy couple months we've had, of course,
Yeah.
there's a lot in there. We got
I
to
know
get
the other day
organized.
when we were in there last week, I wanted to stay but we were heading
She
to that
does
other house. I
too.
just wanted to stay, be like, let me just move
I know.
few things around.
Then you just go down the rabbit hole,
Yes.
though.
Yeah.
You're,
Yeah.
you're trapped.
Well, you guys are a great team, and
Thank
the rest of us, our agents, rely on you totally. You become such a big part of this company, and it's nice that we have the control on it. Where in the past, we would hire stagers to come in, and we never got that feedback from the sellers, really. We're getting compliments on you guys all the time, and times on things that you've done. We can control the timing. If it needs to be done quickly, we can get there quickly. So this is all part of the client experience that we really are known for at the Grisak Group. So, of course, we'd love to help you either buy or sell a home. And if we are selling your home, we've got a great team on hand, not just, from our administrator to Mahala to all of our agents. And we've got, I think we've got 8 agents now, 9 agents. We can handle your business. So please give us a call or email or just check out our website, grisak.com, grisak.com, and we would love to work with you. So thank you for hearing our story, and hopefully we'll get to meet you here one of these days.